My substance addict uncle blew smoke in my baby brother's face on his first day back from the hospital, and my dad went feral. So my uncle is a substance addict, but he stays away from the hardcore stuff. Grass and shrooms are his go-tos, and the decades of daily use have rotted his brain away to the point where it's hard to have a normal conversation with him. Most of the talks with him turn into political rants, or him talking about how he and the chair that he is sitting on are actually the same thing. He has, on one occasion, spent 45 minutes straight trying to convince my mother that she is the avocado that she was eating at the time. He smokes daily, and I genuinely have never seen him sober. He is always either baked, cross-faded, or on mushrooms. He takes mushrooms about once a week and has done so for the better part of the last decade. It's astonishing to me how the man is not dead yet. I remember being 6 years old when I was left alone with my uncle for the first time, and he offered me a J. We were in the back garden, with my parents upstairs. They came back a few minutes later to find me trying to inhale the J while coughing my lungs out. That was the first time I ever got baked, and I have not touched it in the 10 years since then. My parents have also never left my uncle alone with me ever again. My uncle is a relatively calm person, with truly no ill will in his body. He is always baked, and so he is always mellow. I have never really seen him get angry, and when people get angry with him, he usually laughs and tells them to chill out. I remember only seeing him genuinely being infuriated once, and that was when my dad barred my uncle from smoking grass in our back garden. My uncle protested heavily, but my dad put his foot down. My uncle still smoked a J in our back garden the next time he came over, he just did it in secret. He still comes by sometimes, as he is actually a great uncle. Despite being under the influence every second of the day, he has never forgotten a birthday, a special occasion or anything. His wife left him a while ago, so I suppose we are the only family he has left. I do feel bad for him when I think about his life in full. As you can assume, my parents are not the biggest fans of my uncle. He is my mother's brother, and although she can tolerate him, my father cannot stand him. He has hated him since the day he let me smoke a J. Although he has never been violent with my uncle, he is very cautious of letting younger family members around him, such as infant toddlers. He has a very good reason to do so, and I cannot blame him. The first time he got violent with my uncle resulted in my uncle getting sent to the hospital, and this incident occurred just 2 days ago. My mother gave birth to my baby brother. The very first day my baby brother came home from the hospital, we were overjoyed. I was holding him and looking into his blue and beautiful eyes, thinking how lucky I am to have a baby brother. My uncle was over as per his request as well as my mother's. My dad protested originally, but my mother assured my dad that it would be okay. They would not let my uncle hold him, just look at him and spend time with the family at such a big moment. My father, kind of realizing that we are the only family my uncle has, agreed. After all, my uncle had never done anything idiotic in a while. The last time he did was well over 3 years ago, when he took mushrooms on the drive over which kicked in while he was there, and even though it was a small dose as he recalls it, it hit him way harder than expected. My uncle proceeded to kind of flip out and took a 2-hour-long bath in our house to calm down. The only problem was, he accidentally turned the tap on his way out of the bath and flooded the bathroom. He did end up paying for the damages, however. It took half a year for my father to concede to him being allowed in the house again. So, my uncle was over, and things were going good. We were all having dinner as a family, talking about the baby. My uncle was talking about how space aliens contacted him in his dream, typical stuff. The baby was asleep in the cot in the living room, and there was no sense of any danger. My uncle was perfectly understanding of the fact that he could not hold the baby. Well, my uncle excused himself to